Welcome to episode 11 of Pigskin Over Pizza, the show where we talk about sports while eating and eventually reviewing a hopefully delicious pizza. Derek, where are we eating from today? The date is October 8th, by the way.
We are eating straight from the freezer.
That's right.
God damn it, Derek. Dave Portnoy, our favorite person.
Yeah, you mentioned douchebag too many times last week and says don't catchphrase.
Barstool Sports, the company he runs, has a pizza. And I think it's literally called One Bite Everybody Knows the Rules. So it's a 5-cheese blend. It honestly looks pretty good. I'm assuming he has nothing to do with it, so I think it's going to be pretty good.
It does look good. Well, you want to get into it?
Let's get into it.
All
I burnt my thumb bringing it out.
Not as crunchy as
Look at the flop.
I thought when we were talking about it. You see that?
Look at the flop.
We not.
I'm sorry.
You already mentioned that douchebag too much last week. You're lucky I bought this thing.
Oh. Not much flop. It's hotter than the fucking sin, though.
How hot is a sin?
Depends on who you ask, I think. Or no fucking shot I'm gonna eat that yet.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Is it too hot?
I don't think so, but
Too hot, everybody
I'll be
knows
honest, I do that a lot. And people are like, are you kidding me? That might be too hot for you.
I do have a vagina mouth. I'm gonna start this by saying I have not had a frozen pizza in a very long time.
Okay.
I already have my review.
Oh, wow. Well, we won't get to that yet.
No, God, no, we won't.
Why don't we start with
we
some
can only have one
football?
bite.
Okay.
All right, well, I have a pretty touching part, so maybe I'll go second. We have to have a little bit of a tribute.
Okay. Do we end it with our picks and fantasy and whatnot?
Sure. I took a doozy this week.
All right, well, I'll start with the Broncos. They lost 23-7, unfortunately, against the Ravens.
Fucking Broncos.
Right.
Those good old donkeys.
We're going to get back to Boone the Kraken if you don't watch yourself.
Sorry.
More injuries. Teddy Bridgewater left the game.
Injuries?
Melvin Gordon and Cortland Sutton just keep going from healthy to questionable every 5 seconds. Pat Surtain also left the game. Like I said, they lost 23-17. Bridgewater is practicing again now.
Wasn't it 23-7?
Yeah, did I say 17 right there? I realized that once you said it. I said 23-7 the first time. Talking too fast. But Bridgewater is supposed to be back for the next game. Drew Lock came in and went 12 of 21 with 113 yards, no touchdowns and interception. Not great, but I think if he played this week or whenever he eventually plays, I think that'd be a more fair judgment. I think when a quarterback's thrown into it, you can't really fully judge that. So
Unless you're Gino Smith.
yeah, that's right. So I would say a bummer, and it was a close game before Bridgewater got hurt, but that game still went either way to begin with. So well, they got hurt, so of course they're going to lose. It's just more, I can't believe this injury thing is happening again to the Broncos. And
Yeah, I feel you so deep.
And then we'll kind of get to the, obviously, your team later, but the rest of the league when we do pick them and whatnot. But college football, the Buckeyes won 52-13 over Rutgers. I was at the game. It was, I was not at this game. We were playing football.
Yeah.
No, I was at the week before. Yeah, I started looking at this. I was like, I am high. Yeah, 52-13 over Rutgers. C.J. Stroud was back and went 17 of 23 with 330 yards and 5 touchdowns with no turnovers.
Did we talk about this?
No.
Oh.
You're probably thinking about it because last week I talked about how
Everyone was doubting him, and he came in. Yeah. That's exactly what I was thinking of.
Yeah. So that happened, and even more so than I would have thought because that's a crazy performance. I think he had like 30 yards rushing, so almost 400 total yards. And like I said, you can't compare games 1-to-1, like Ohio State playing Rutgers and Michigan playing Rutgers, but I think it gives you a little bit of idea. I think people would definitely judge that too much. Like, I'll play that both ways because I told you how, like, prior years, Ohio State would beat, for example, Indiana by 10, and then Michigan would beat them by 14. Everybody, see, we're going to get destroyed by Michigan. I think you can definitely judge that. Go too far with that, But I definitely think it gives you a rough idea. And Michigan beat Rutgers 20-13, and also it was the week before this, because a lot of times that happens and it's like 4 weeks apart and teams are totally different at that point. But I think that's the best comparison we have, and I think that's quite the large margin there. And C.J. Stroud won Big Ten Freshman of the Year, or Freshman of the Week again. That was the 5th time an Ohio State player has won it in a row. So to be fair, when I was talking about Kyle McCord last week, he actually won Freshman of the Week for Ohio State in his first game. But C.J. Stroud has won it 4 out of 5 weeks, and the only week he didn't win it, he wasn't playing. So nothing against Kyle McCord. When you're a team like Ohio State, not being saying as an Ohio State fan, I'm saying any of the top teams, you're going to have prospects. So even though I talk C.J. Stroud up, and I think he is the future, I think you obviously have good players behind him. But the Ohio State went up by quite a bit, obviously. So they started, Kyle McCord came in, and then Jake Miller, and they went a total of 1 for 4 with 3 yards and no touchdowns. And more injuries for Ohio State in that game, too. So seems to be a trend here. Let's see. We have, going into the game, Ohio State also was missing 13 players against Rutgers. So I think that's another thing that helps if you're looking at the head-to-head with possible lineup with Michigan. But Travion Henderson, the running back that has been going fucking crazy, left the game about halfway through, so C.J. Stroud didn't have him to rely on either. But Ohio State, again, has capable running backs to back him up. But the good news is Ryan Day said that he would have played in the second half if they weren't up by so much, so it sounds like that's not a serious injury because that could hurt him long-term for sure.
Yeah.
And then sounds like most of the other injuries are kind of just going on, but they did lose, I have him here, Jensen Dunn, the freshman safety that seemed like he's getting better week by week. He's out for the year, so that's a blow to him. And then the rankings, I have them here. Like I said, I was going to try and start talking about both the major polls, which is the coaches poll and then the AP poll. Ohio State was 10th in the coaches poll and 11th in the AP poll. They moved up to 7th in both because 3 teams ahead of them lost, so it wasn't just their victory. And then I think one of the biggest games besides that was the Bearcats versus Notre Dame, and Bearcats pulled that out, so they're still ahead of Ohio State, which is bonkers to see. I mean, it's not that they don't deserve it, but it's just crazy to see that. And like I said, I think there's a bit of overreaction with Ohio State's first loss as we talk about, because if you're going to lose, it's better to do it early in the year because you have so much room to make up for it. Mm-hmm. And it's not even necessarily who you lose against. It's usually when you lose against them. Like Ohio State is ranked ahead of Oregon now already because Oregon lost, because it's definitely more about when you lose in college football. But the interesting thing will be to see if it keeps going like this, what will happen, because Ohio State has Penn State ahead of him, and they play them. They're ranked 4th. But Cincinnati is 5, and they're undefeated. So it'll be interesting to see at the end of the year if it's the same scenario and Cincinnati gets left out again. I feel like they might not do it 2 times in a row, or if both of them make it in. But I think it'll be really interesting if it keeps playing out like this. Obviously, Cincinnati could lose and they'll all get blown up. But I think they probably wouldn't keep Cincinnati out twice in a row if it comes down to those 2, but hopefully it wouldn't be down to those 2 anyways.
Yeah.
And then besides, I know you said you were going to talk about the other NFL news.
Yeah,
I had that on
not
here.
Too much, but
yeah, but you can go into your sadness if you want. Seems like it's a week of sadness.
Well, we'll just talk about the Stephon Gilmore thing. He was released at first, but the Panthers snuck in there for a 6th-round pick in the 2023 draft and got the 2019 Defensive Player of the Year. Thought Seattle would jump on this, but I think there's a lot of reasons why they didn't. He's 31, coming off a horrific quad injury, apparently. He still can't even play for another 2 weeks, and who knows how he will play when he comes back. Also, he's from North Carolina, so I think destination mattered to him. No. So I bet Seattle was in on it, but I see why they didn't do it. Plus, we have the 2 best corners in the NFL, so... wait a second. Terrible. So that's... I mean, I'm sure there's other news.
There was, who was it? And the Cowboys, Jalen Smith, is that?
Oh, yeah. Where the fuck is that screenshot? Yeah, he was released. He's on the Packers now.
He had quite a bit left on his contract with the Cowboys. Why everybody's so surprised by it.
Yeah, I don't know why they did it. It's a weird timing, I guess.
Especially since they're playing well, too.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's obviously some reason. Some people are thinking that there's something that's going to come out about him is why it happened, but I don't know if that's true or not.
I think the Packers would look into that a little bit.
Yeah, you would assume.
He was signed pretty quick. Other than that, though, just a little itty-bitty stuff here, like losing our franchise quarterback. So the Seahawks fell to the Rams in a game they probably should have won. I'm assuming you didn't watch it.
No, but I was following along because I picked the Seahawks.
Okay.
Well, no, I already said down here.
I picked the Rams. It's probably my fault they lost.
No, I didn't say down here because that's this coming week. Yeah, I picked the Seahawks.
I picked the Rams, which is probably why we lost. Probably why Russell Wilson's hurt. No, so let's just talk about that game for a second. We come out. Defense looks pretty good for the first half. Incredible DK Metcalf routes. We get up the field, score 7. We hold them. They score 3. Going into halftime, 7-3. We get the ball. Right before halftime, we score another touchdown to Tyler Lockett, which would have A, helped my fantasy team. B, we would have been up 14-3. Actually, let's just talk about the first half a little bit. I was going to run through this, but maybe I shouldn't. On 4th and 2, we decided not to go for it when we could have easily gotten a first down. It's whatever. But a second 4th and 2 came up where we were in field goal range, and Pete Carroll decided to go for that one on 4 straight running plays. First down, second down, third down, fourth down.
Well, he heard the criticism so much, he took it quite literal.
I guess.
Like, you should have run the ball. You motherfuckers, all right.
All right, here goes 4 in a row. When you have an all-time generational quarterback talent, you should probably let him throw once a series. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or not, because you might get his finger fucking ruined.
Spoilers.
But yeah, so that happened. So we didn't get 3 there. So that should have been 10-3, or 10-3. And then we should have scored before half, but there was a holding call on Dwayne Brown, who hasn't had a penalty yet this year. So of course he decides now. So realistically, it should have been 17-3 going into half, and we got ball. That game could have been totally different, but instead it was 7-3. And then early in the third quarter, Russell puts his majestic shoulders at a 45-degree angle toward the sky, proceeds to launch a ball, but our O-line can't fucking block anything, and let Aaron Donald get in the face, and Russell Wilson goes right in and fucking, I'll tell you exactly what he does. Breaks his finger. But he sustained 2 injuries to his middle finger on his throwing hand. An extensor tendon rupture, which is called mallet finger. And that is where you saw his tip down here. The tendon ruptures. And then he fucking broke it. A fracture dislocation of that joint. So he broke it and he snapped the, which is interesting because when I cut my finger off, that's what I had.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because the only thing that was held on was one tendon. So the tendon was ruptured. Obviously, it shaved part of my bone. So Russell Wilson had surgery today. He's got screws stabilizing it. That motherfucker tried to come back in. He did come back in. And he tried to throw one screen, and it got there, but it was bad. Uh-huh. So he took himself out because he said, there's just no way I can help the team. He went to L.A. to get surgery on it. It's looking like 6 to 8 weeks. But the doctors who did Drew Brees' thumb surgery said, based on what I saw today, I'm fully confident that Russell Wilson will return to the NFL this season and play at the same world-class level that fans have come to expect from one of the game's very best quarterbacks. I fucking hope so. Now, there's the sad news. Russell Wilson has never been injured in his life. He has never missed a game of football since Pee Wee. And that's not, he missed one in Pee Wee. No, he has never missed one, and he's been playing since Pee Wee. He has missed 2 snaps in his whole career. 6 to 8 weeks. Can I tell you some records that Russell Wilson was going for this year?
Yeah, please.
One of them was starts. He had 165 in a row. That's now shattered. He was 9th in the NFL of all time. He needed 8 wins to surpass Peyton Manning for most wins by a quarterback in his first 10 seasons. That's still doable. He has 2 already. He just needs to come back and get 6. Totally doable. He needs 6 total wins for most wins by a quarterback, including postseason. He needed 40 touchdown passes, which was asking a lot, but he already had 10. So to pass Manning again for most touchdown passes, he needed 3,000 yards, which was easy. 3,000 yards and 20 touchdowns to join Manning as the only quarterbacks to reach those marks in their first 10 seasons. That's probably shattered. And then he needs 30 touchdown passes to become the third player in NFL history with at least 30 touchdown passes in 5 consecutive seasons, joining Brett Favre and Drew Brees. So there's so many elite company, which would just, I think he's already a Hall of Fame quarterback anyway. This just would have cemented it. You know what I mean? That and another Super Bowl would just really, there's first ballot, no questions asked. I think none of those are going to happen this year, which is really sad that all of that streak comes to an end. We were also undefeated in our green jerseys. That streak ended. The Vikings had never beaten Russell Wilson. That streak ended. It's the era of streak endings. But here's what makes me the most sad. There was a little bit of turmoil before the season started, right? With Russell Wilson.
Mm-hmm. I feel like I've heard that on the
You
show
heard that before? Yeah. Maybe here.
Oh. Put a link to Pigskin Over Pizza.
Here's my worry. I think we may have seen it, some speculation is 6 to 8 weeks. Some is season ending. I don't think Russell Wilson. I bet he plays right after the bye week, which I'll talk about the schedule here in a second.
Yeah, I think I'll play again this year.
I don't think the season's over yet either because of that, but it's looking a little grim. We are 2-3. Should be 3-2, I think, and in second, but instead we're 2-3 and 1-1 in the division, dead last. And our franchise quarterback is just dead. So we have Gino Smith, which let's talk about Gino.
Okay.
Came in cold as fuck. Years this man has been backing up people.
Yeah, I forgot he's in the league again, which I've forgotten multiple times.
He went, and these stats don't even sound as good as it looked. 10 of 17, 131 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. And then 3 rushes for 23 yards. That stat is like, oh, that's pretty decent numbers. He was in command, checking things at the line, played with great tempo. The throws were on the money. The touchdown pass was beautiful. He looked like he's been playing for years. Now, he is a backup, so my expectations aren't that high. But our schedule, so let's just talk about it until the bye week, which is in 4 weeks. At the Steelers, realistically, I think we win that game, even with Gino. The Saints come to Seattle. I think that'll be tough. I like Gino more than I like Jameis. I think we win that game. And then we have the Jags. I think we win that game. And then it's the bye week. So you're telling me 10 days and then 3 more weeks, so like over a month, and Russell Wilson could be back? I don't want to sound too optimistic here. We could be 5-3 going to the Packers and Russ comes back. If not, we're 5-4. And he's back for the Arizona game. I don't know. I don't think it's that crazy to think that we're in the worst. We're not in the worst situation. Now, we have a record-breaking defense right now. That they are the worst. 500 yards a game.
Records to break.
No,
okay.
We are just the historically worst defense ever. That's it. That's that sentence. And even if this season sucks and we do end up going 5-11, the Jets have a first round pick, so we can't even get any compensation for it.
Yeah.
And Jamal's played like shit. He had one really good game against the Niners, but he has played like shit the rest of the time. I am fully in the court that it is coaching, because if you have a superstar at every single level of a football team, Adams, Wagner, Dunlap, Brown, Carson, Metcalf, Lockett, Wilson. You literally have a great player at every important position, except for corner. But there's no reason that defense should be historically the worst.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping. So, back to my point. My fear is that this is the last time we have seen Pete and Russ together. This is the last season. My biggest fear is it's because Russell leaves. I can't imagine he's going to come back and play perfect after a surgery like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so.
But he's still going to be a top 5 quarterback. And I'm afraid that Pete is going to be so stubborn. And our problem is our ownership. Our owner died and left it to his wife, and the wife is kind of hands off. So Pete kind of runs the Seahawks. I don't think he's going to fire himself. And the owners certainly won't step in and be like, I think it's time for change. Hopefully, hey, Russell Wilson's going to walk. It's either him or you. Chose Pete Carroll. But I don't think Russell Wilson sits through I don't think Russell, I don't think Wagner go through a rebuild. So I think we're at an era ending thing, just like the Legion of Boom. Earl Thomas got hurt, gone. Cam Chancellor hurt his neck, gone. Sherman Achilles, gone. Brandon Browner, prison. Jeremy Lane tore his ACL, broke his arm on the same play in the Super Bowl, gone. Thurmond, hurt, gone. Bennett, hurt. Or no, he got traded. Averill, neck, gone. That historically amazing defense all got hurt and then left. Russell, probably gone. And it sucks. But what really sucks about it is we just don't have any picks. I gotta be fine because we have the core.
Yeah.
We're young. We got good receivers, good running backs. Our running backs are super hurt. Chris Carson apparently has a long-lasting neck injury that no one knew about. That is showing up now. So Seahawks are kind of in shambles. We're down to our 15th tackle. We don't have a running back. Russell Wilson's dead.
Oh,
Metcalf is playing really fucking good. Lockett hurt his hip, and he's been a little down. The line's bad. The D-line can't get pressure on anybody all of a sudden for some reason. We played a really good defensive scheme against the Niners and decided to abandon that, so coaching is just atrocious. Our corners are even playing decent now. Adams is atrocious. That pick's looking worse and worse. Or that trade's looking worse and worse. They have to live with it, though, unless they can get some sort of compensation for him, which they won't because he's the highest paid safety, so.
Imagine if you died from a broken finger.
Yeah, I'm being dramatic, but this is the first. It's been 10 years of consistency.
Yeah.
So, and I think the entire Seattle Seahawks organization is going to be pretty shaken up in this offseason. But I think best case scenario, and I think it's possible, Ken Norton gets fired, a defense coordinator. Maybe Pete Carroll gets fired, or I think he's going to quit before he gets fired. Be like, I can't do it anymore. I think he has the wherewithal to do that. And I kind of hope he does. I think the game's past him. It was starting to show last season. It's been showing for a little while. If you constantly have the talent that everyone thinks should win a Super Bowl and you're just not executing, at some point in time, it's coaching. I love Pete Carroll. I think he should be considered for Hall of Fame status. I think he's definitely in the Ring of Honor for us. He is one of the most important coach. He's probably the most important coach to Seahawks history. Everything comes to an end. I think it might be Pete Carroll's time. But and I think that's fine. Get one of these young fuckers to get in here. You know who I want?
Who's that?
The coordinator from the
Matt Nagy?
No, I don't. I want nothing to do with Matt Nagy as a
Rude.
coach. Joe Brady. He was at LSU. He was the offensive coordinator for LSU in the championship season. And I think he's a coordinator for the Cowboys.
I heard Tom about. I know where he was now.
It's either Cowboys or the Panthers. But I think I'd like him.
Tom Brady's son.
Yeah, no. I haven't seen him kiss him, so I don't know. Oh.
Figure out we do office looks on here now.
So.
Also, we're not talking about child pedophilia on here, please.
Sorry.
Especially with their own kid.
But I think I'd like to go offensive-minded. I think the defense, we just need a decent defense. And I think we need someone to utilize Wilson, and I think that'll get him to stay, too. So, but I do think it's. I'll stop talking about it. But I do think. I think The best 10 years of my Seahawks fandom are coming to an end, but that's okay. All things end. It'll be shitty to see Russell Wilson in a different uniform, and Wagner probably.
And luckily for you, I noticed you're slowly transitioning into NHL fan anyways, because you even said organization there.
Ooh.
That's how they
Go.
say in Canada. So
There you
you're
go.
on your way.
Ripen for it. I love Seahawks. I love Russ Wilson. He's like actually a hero to me, and I get like emotional thing about him not being here.
Being there.
Being there, yeah.
I know what you mean.
Ohio.
Being stupid.
He means so much to Seattle. I think it'd be tough for him to leave, but I think it'd be so much easier to just get rid of the old fucker. He's 70, dude. Just get someone young buck in there with his coaching staff. You know what I mean?
Urban Meyer.
No, I don't want some fucking grinding dick. Are we gonna talk about that?
We
Probably should a little bit.
Grinding dick was a.
Yeah. I definitely don't want fucking Urban Meyer to fake a heart problem to leave the team. So or tell his losing team that he's gonna go hang out with his grandkids and fuck some whore.
I think that was a couple loaded statements there.
I think I'd rather just restart with someone else, like Joe Brady. But
Brady's son.
it's him kissing him and everything.
We're gonna talk about that, but go ahead.
But that's Seahawks. It's a sad state that we're in. It's not the worst. It is the closest we have ever been to it, though. Fuck it. I would say tank for Tua, but that's what everyone was saying that one year. Tank for no picks for the next 2 years.
Well, Tua's brother plays Ohio State tomorrow. You can tank for him.
I don't want Tua or his brother. I'd rather have Gino.
Yeah, the Urban Meyer thing, you know my views, because we talked about what we can talk about in here.
I actually didn't listen to your messages.
Oh, you didn't? Okay, that'll be better then, so you don't know exactly what to expect. Obviously, it doesn't look good no matter how you cut it.
Yeah.
So I'm not just going to like flat out be like, oh, I like Urban Meyer, so there's nothing bad about it.
Yeah.
It definitely is not a good look. I think it's definitely been way blown out of proportion, though, for a couple of reasons. I feel like I think that's weird if people are like that, but it's weird that society now is so about not judging people and people having open relationships and doing all kinds of stuff. But then most of the people that are criticizing it, like criticizing him, are the people that I see saying need to be open and not judge people, and everybody has their own lives and nobody knows what's going on. So it seems odd that those are the people that are criticizing him the most. And because his wife, from what I've heard, doesn't seem like maybe she's hiding it because she doesn't want to say anything publicly, but she doesn't seem to have
That's
much
probably what it is. I'm assuming that fight's going to take place in the home. That's not going to take place in the public.
Yeah. And
which it should.
Yeah. And I think
unless they do have an open thing, I don't know.
Yeah, that's I'm not being like, oh, I have some inside info. It's okay. But I'm saying, yeah, who the fuck knows? And I just think it's weird that most of the people are judging most harsh are the same people that say don't judge people, and you don't know people's personal lives and everything. But for me, I don't think it looks good. And I think even if they aren't in an open relationship, I think it's a bit much. I know you're joking with the fucking some whore, but
yeah.
I know you're being hyperbolic.
Having someone
but
grind on you is a little different than having sex with her.
Yeah, which still, it's a guy's fault in that situation because they could push him off or say no. But I think if a lot of guys are being honest, they would not stop it, not even just because they like it, but just it's an uncomfortable situation, and you're just like, oh shit, this is happening. And I also think it's a slippery slope there too, because if you push her off or push the wrong way, that's a whole different news story.
It's a very different video.
She looked like a very small, fragile girl, so if you're like, oh, get off me, and fucking blows up there. So
yeah.
I'm not saying that's why you didn't do it. I'm just trying to look at all angles.
I think the whole thing's a little weird. The biggest problem I had with it is he told his team, I'm not going to fly back with you. I'm going to go visit my kids or whatever. And he's just in his bar fucking getting grinded on. Like, if I was a part of the Jags organization, which apparently he didn't have any respect anyway, and now he's like really lost the whole locker room. So from a professional standpoint, I get that. And like the whole press conference thing, like never looking up, not really like there's a lot of shame. So I'm assuming something bad I think it's worse behind the scenes, but we don't know, so we can't speculate that much. And yeah, the whole, like, is it bad if they were grinding? I think that's up for him and his wife. Like, if that's, like, if she's like, yeah, that's cheating to me.
Oh yeah.
Then you broke her. You know what I mean? You broke her trust, and that's because there was a lot. He was taking pictures with a lot of young women. It was pretty weird. But yeah, I mean, he's Urban Meyer in Ohio, like, so pretty well known around here. So,
especially in Urban Meyer's restaurant.
Yeah, which looks decoratedly awful. I hope he didn't choose how to decorate that. But yeah, I think the whole thing's weird. But I do think he owes the Jags something, and I think he fucked that. I don't give a shit about him and his wife. They'll figure that out. I wish you could go visit my kids. But I'm not an Urban Meyer guy. But I feel like I have a pretty reasonable stance on it, even not liking him.
Yeah. Should we talk about Pick'em in fantasy for a minute?
Let's do it.
So Pick'em, I am now ranked 16th. I feel like I was 15th before, if I remember right.
I think Daddy jumped up quite a bit.
Oh, did you, Daddy?
Thanks.
And I am 38-27, which is 6 picks behind pick 1. And I don't think we said on here, the top 6 get money payouts, and then 7 gets their money back. Or so.
I actually didn't even know that.
Oh yeah, I put it up here.
Are you fucking kidding me? So I'm in 8th. So all these first, second, and then everyone else tied for 3rd is gonna get money.
Daddy, that's how it happens. But I hope there's not that many ties by the end of it. That'd be real crazy.
Probably split up, right?
Yeah. We usually. There was no ties.
Did all these people pay $20?
Yep.
Holy shit!
Right? Isn't that crazy?
How many people are here?
We got 30.
Do you have the payouts?
Yeah, most people paid Venmo or something, but
no, like what's first place game?
Oh, it's on here. Yeah. I need to update because 2 people enter real late, so that's not on there. But it's 140, 120, 100, 80, 60, 40, and 20. But it'll be trying to figure out. Maybe just add on. I'd like to make another spot, but I don't see where it makes sense. Maybe just make 1 and 2 higher payouts, like 160, 140.
Or just pay one more out or something. Like the next 2 people get $20 or whatever.
Yeah.
Just because I'm in 8th.
Where are you at now? You said 8th?
I'm in 8th. I've really jumped up. I've been making some pretty solid picks. I'm in the 91st percentile, which is pretty crazy. Who's Jeff Strayer?
Somebody I work with.
This motherfucker. He's a guy
that looks just like you, ironically enough.
He has 3 picks. So I'm only 3 picks away from first. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, you want to talk about our actual picks?
Yeah, you want to talk about last week's, you mean, or this coming week's?
I was going to do this week.
Okay.
Do you want to talk about last week's?
We can start doing that in the next week's coming. Okay. I think that'd be a good way to kind of recap the games we don't talk about. We can just crush around this week. So we already talked about, I picked the Seahawks, you picked the Rams, so I already got one wrong.
I should have stuck with my guts. I should have picked the Seahawks. I think they should have won that game. Matt Stafford looked terrible for 2 weeks in a row now. I'm going to die on the hill that he is not that good.
I told you, we talked on this podcast, I think he's good, but I said how I thought that trade was real.
Crazy.
Yeah.
It still seems crazy to me. Yeah. So.
All right. So, the first game after that is the Falcons versus the Jets. The Falcons at 78% and 22 over the Jets. I took the Falcons.
Same.
I'm surprised it is actually that high. I know the Jets have been terrible, but the Falcons
are also terrible.
Yeah, as we look back at my prediction.
Mine's not going to look so good either for Seattle.
You want to do the next one?
Packers at Bengals. I'm a little surprised this one's so crazy.
Yeah.
But Packers at 86%. I picked the Packers as well.
Yeah.
Bengals look really good, and they had a top-ranked defense.
Yeah, I picked the Packers, but I also don't know why it wasn't closer. I think it should be like
I would do like 60-40, yeah.
Oh, look at us. Yeah, that's odd. Then we have the Vikings-Lions, and 92 to 8%. I picked the Vikings, but again, I think it shouldn't be 60-40, but I think it should be closer than that.
I picked the Lions.
Did you?
This is my pick. It was 94-6.
Yeah, that seems way too much for me.
The Lions are 0-4 and have been so close. The Vikings are not a good football team.
Yeah, I would say like 70-30 maybe, I think would be a little more fair, but I think this is a bit much.
Yeah. And then we got, so that's my fucking weird pick. My under 25%. Then we got the Donkeys versus the, sorry, it's just stuck in there. The Broncos versus the Steelers. And who's starting at quarterback? Is it Drew?
It's not solidified. I think Teddy Bridgewater should return to practice.
Okay, if it's Teddy, I'm going to pick the Broncos. If it's Drew Lock, I think I'll pick the Steelers.
This one actually changed since I picked it. I picked the Broncos, but they were the underdogs as far as the percentage. Now it's at 52-48.
I think the Broncos should win this game no matter what. I think if Drew Lock starts, it would be a little bit more in question.
I think if either of them start, they should win, but I don't think it's a for sure thing because the Steelers have looked terrible, and I hope that they're actually done for. But my worry is that eventually
they wake the fuck up.
Yeah,
Oh, it could be against Seattle next week. Don't worry.
That's kind of how I feel about the Broncos. This better not be the week they just go back to normal, and everybody's like, "What do you mean Ben Roethlisberger's terrible?" And I'm like, so that's the only reason I think this is. If the Steelers have been playing how they've been playing, I don't think it matters who starts for the Broncos. But if they go back to their normal Steelers, which I hope doesn't happen, I hope this is just finally over. Then I think it'd be a different story, and they could definitely lose it, no matter who's starting.
So I got Broncos. I had the Steelers picked. I'm gonna be honest with you, but that was I think I picked these when I found out.
Yeah,
Drew Lock.
Yeah, I thought the way they were talking, it seemed like it's for sure going to be out longer than that, and maybe it will be. But he's practicing now, and it seems like they're aiming towards him starting.
Broncos. It makes more sense anyway.
And the next one we have the Buccaneers versus the Dolphins, 98% to 2.
Easiest pick ever.
Yeah, the Buccaneers. Hopefully the Dolphins win, but I doubt it.
No way. Saints football team.
That's what it just sounded like you were talking about the Saints. I had to look at that.
I picked the football team.
Did you?
I did. I like Heineke a lot. Heineke,
yeah.
I like him. Their defense should be better, but it's still good. The Saints just don't look good.
They look. I think this is a toss-up, and this percentage actually reflects that for once. It's
41-59.
Yeah, not straight toss-up. You get my point. Closer than these have been. I did pick the Saints. I don't think they have looked bad. I think they've looked way too inconsistent. They look amazing or not good at all. I do like Taylor Heineke a lot. Former Battlehawks quarterback, of course, in the XFL. He's actually a backup in the XFL, so he wasn't even playing the XFL, and now not running the show. But what were his... He has really good stats. I meant to save him for what you'd expect. Do you have him? Like, do you know him?
I don't, but I do know that they're very good. I can find them really quick.
Yeah, if you want to do that. Yeah, he... I think he's really easy to root for. I like underdogs, and I don't know if you've seen him interviewed or anything.
He seems like a decent guy, yeah.
Yeah, he seems really nice. The last interview where they pulled it off, who they beat? The Falcons.
That game was fucking nuts.
And they interviewed him.
I had Carter Patterson on my fantasy team.
They interviewed him after the game, and they asked him what it meant to have his sister and his whole family in the crowd, because they said
he got emotional about it.
Yeah, when he got the XFL went under, he got real depressed and didn't know what he's even gonna do with his life.
Living on their couches and shit, right?
Yeah, and his sister's couch, and so he started talking about having her there, and they started crying. And I was like, man, I hate Washington and the whole thing that they've changed and everything, but the Battlehawks were my team, even though this guy wasn't even a starter. I was like underdogs, and he seems like a really good guy on top of that.
Yeah, I don't have any beef with Washington. There's nothing about them that makes me dislike them or like them. I like Ron Rivera. I like his story. Yeah, he seems like a decent dude. Yeah. I like Heineke. I love J.D. McKissick. He's a CX guy. I like Chase Young. He's fun to watch. Yeah. I like McLaurin a lot. So they're fun to watch. His stats last week were 23 of 33 for 290 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 picks. On the season, he is 82, of 128, or of 118, which is 69.5%. 960 yards, 8 touchdowns, 3 picks.
And quarterback rating of 106 is what it says on here.
105.9.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
So, yeah, that's good. I knew he was playing okay from here until top, but that kind of caught me off guard how good those stats were.
To put that into perspective, he's around the 13th best quarterback right now.
Yeah.
Which someone getting shoved into that.
Yeah, and coming out of the XFL, that's backup.
Yeah, he's not Smith level good. I mean, did we talk about Gino Smith? Oh, we did.
Yeah.
We did. Thank God.
Yeah, so I don't know if he'll continue. It might be one of those things that defenses don't really know how to play him, but I
And he
kind of
played
hope.
really good against the Buccaneers last year in the
Yeah,
playoffs, and
I
they
mean,
should have won.
yeah, that'd be nice. Could be a whole different story. All right, I think you're the next one.
Yeah, you are.
I am?
Mhm.
Okay. We have the Panthers versus the Eagles, 88% to 12%.
I wanted to pick the Eagles. They looked really good against the Chiefs, but they're bad. I don't like Jalen Hurts. I don't like their defense. I don't like that they don't run the football, so I picked the Panthers.
Yeah, I picked the Panthers, especially because I think they are actually going to be good overall. At least good, maybe better
Sam
than good.
Darnold leads the NFL in rushing touchdowns.
I didn't. I know he's had quite a few. And I think they were sticking with the Cowboys and they kind of fell apart, and then they started to come back. But I think they're going to play more motivated after that game, so I think they'll play really well in this one. Get the Eagles out, which obviously I don't think it's like the hardest task anyways, but I think that'll be a motivator for them.
Next, we have the Tennessee Titans at Jacksonville Jaguars.
I took the Jaguars here because I think.
Wow.
No, I'm joking. I took the Titans.
I was like, they're going to play
about how they're going to be motivated after that.
They don't even like their coach right now.
Did you? I didn't see if it was real or not. Did you see they broke the huddle at practice by saying grind?
They did. There's a fucking video of it.
Damn it.
He has completely lost that team already. It's week 5.
I don't know if that team realizes it doesn't matter who the coach is.
They should play Minshew, by the way.
Yeah.
Minshew, I think, had 7 interceptions all year last year.
Didn't they trade him?
No.
Oh, we talked about that at the beginning of the year.
Where did he play?
I don't know. I could have sworn we talked about that in the.
Maybe we did. No way, right?
Yeah, the Eagles.
What the fuck? They should fucking play him. Hurts sucks.
So looks like they're sticking with Trevor Lawrence, which I think they're going to do anyways. And
He had 5. Wait, he had 5 interceptions last year. 6 the year before. I think Lawrence already has 7.
yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think the Titans fucking dominate. It would be cool if the Jaguars pull it out, but I don't see that happening.
No.
The Titans. This is why we should start covering the prior week. They did lose to the fucking Jets, so I don't think that means
was also
bad,
a crazy
but,
fucking
yeah.
good game. I had Red Zone up, dude. It was such a good time.
So we're getting less and less winless and undefeated teams, which I'm okay with, especially now the Broncos are not one of those. I just want it to be over
Just
with.
need the fucking Cardinals to lose now.
Yeah. And who's the Jaguars? Is there anybody else that's winless?
No, I think that's it. Jaguars might actually do it, dude.
They're not going to do all of it. And like I said, I picked them as potential worst
They'll
team in
beat
the
the
league.
Seahawks.
Then, was I next one or you?
I don't think it matters.
All right. So next one is the Patriots versus the Texans. The Patriots have it 82% to 8, or 92% to 8. That math wouldn't add up. I picked the Texans. This is my upset.
Okay.
I don't think either team is great, and I think the Patriots are getting looked at too much. So
I think the Patriots are really decent. So I picked the Patriots. I think Mac Jones finally showed what he can do. That was in the rain against the Buccaneers, who are pretty damn good, and he played really fucking well. Defense kind of fucked him. I think the Patriots win.
all right.
I'd be pretty shocked if with Davis Mills. If the Texans had Tyrod Taylor, I think the Texans could be one of the better teams right now. That Mills neck guy is just no good. Justin Fields versus the Raiders.
Yeah, they announced he's going to stay the starter. This 90.
Matt Nagy is so confusing.
Destroyer, great. 91% to 9. I picked the Raiders. I hope the Bears win. Obviously, it helps the Broncos, and also I like Justin Fields and Matt Nagy. And Justin Fields is 2-0 as a starter with the Bears. I don't think it's
He's only started once, right?
Well, I guess 2-0 as a player, but not like coming in off the bench and a starter. So kind of crazy because he obviously hasn't played the best. So it's funny that he's 2-0.
The last game he played better.
Yeah.
The first game was fucking awful. I picked the Raiders as well. Browns Chargers.
This climbed up quite a bit. 67% Chargers, 33% Browns. I picked the Chargers. I'm surprised that's not closer. I think the Chargers are gonna. I hate them, but and it helped the Broncos that the Browns won. But I think the Chargers win it.
I think the Browns.
Do you?
I do. Chargers are coming off 2 pretty fucking emotional wins. Maybe it's a Seattle thing, but I feel like that shit happens. Then you play a team that you should beat, and then you lose.
Yeah.
So I think the Chargers should win, but I'm picking the Browns.
Gotcha.
The
Cowboys at 95% to the Giants 5%. I picked the Cowboys.
Yeah, seems like a reasonable percentage.
It is a rivalry game, so maybe something crazy will happen, but I kind of doubt it.
Yeah, it'll be closer than that indicates, but
yeah,
it will not be. It will not be won by the Giants, that's for sure. NFC West matchup: San Francisco Niners at the Cardinals.
I'm surprised this isn't closer, but I think it's just because the Cardinals are undefeated.
And Niners lost Garoppolo, and Lance looks fucking terrible.
How long is he out? I knew he's hurt, but
he's hurt. He got benched. Oh. They're saying it's a calf injury that he's had for a while, but he fucking got benched. Played bad.
This is 89% to 11, so I'm surprised it's not a little closer, but I picked the Cardinals still.
Yeah, me too. They won't go undefeated. They'll lose.
Yeah, I think so too. Next one is the Bills versus the Chiefs. Chiefs had the advantage 52-48, and I picked the Bills. I think the Bills look like the best team right now. We'll see if that sticks or not. Yeah, I don't like them, but
I don't know what to think of the Bills.
Every game where I kind of doubt them, they not only win, but they just fucking straight up dominate.
Yeah.
So it's in Kansas City, right? A team on the right. So that will make it harder, but I still think the Bills are going to pull it out.
I picked the Chiefs. So we're actually a little different this week.
Yeah.
I picked the Chiefs. It's uncharacteristic for them to be where they are. So.
Yeah.
I just think they're the better. I think they're the worst defense of the two. I think Kansas City's offense is obviously the best. So I don't know. This game feels like a 48-52 game, percentage-wise.
Yeah.
In Arrowhead, Chiefs are kind of in a must-win situation.
Yeah.
I'll pick the Chiefs.
Okay.
Colts, Ravens. 96% Ravens, 4% Colts.
Pick the Ravens.
I did too.
Yeah, maybe it should be a tad closer, but like, I don't know, maybe 80-20, but...
Yeah, not a lot.
Yeah. And that's it for that week. Did you want to talk about fantasy at all? Just records or anything?
I lost again, even with Cordell Patterson. I feel like I should be really good, but I'm not. So with all the Seahawks injuries, I've lost some people. Brandon Ayuk refuses to be good. Logan Thomas got hurt. I did pick up Patterson. I'm playing both running backs for the Falcons this week. Fuck it. Davis gets a touchdown, probably. And Patterson's essentially a wide receiver that I can put at a running back position. So I picked up Dawson Knox for the tight end for the Bills. He's the 6th best tight end this year so far. He was just sitting on the waivers.
Yeah.
And Thomas got hurt, so I had to. But yeah, Kirk Cousins is still my quarterback. I got Derek Carr, just in case. I'm playing the Raiders defense against the Bears. I'll see if that works out. I don't trust Justin Fields. He could prove me wrong, though. But my team's pretty much the same. But I'm starting Patterson and Davis, and I have Dawson Knox and Raiders defense now.
Okay. I'll just touch on my record since I have so many leagues.
I'm 1-3.
1-3. That's what I'm at in this league. This is a big league that I did with go from work but not at work.
1-4. Let me fucking 1-3.
Okay. Yeah, that's where I'm at in that. Oh, you're good. In that league, the league that I've done the longest with my group of friends and family, I'm sitting at a solid 0-4. Good for last place in the league, believe it or not.
Whoa.
The other one, I guess I didn't say I'm one. I know I said I'm 1-3, but I am sitting at last place in that division. So, looking pretty solid for me for fantasy so far. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, football this year for me really sucks. Really sad.
And then in my keeper league, I am. The setup is so different. 1-3, which is good for 7th out of 10. But I am doing good in my actual work league, the one we run at work. I am 3-1, which is good for 2nd place in the division.
Nice.
So that's the only one that is looking promising so far.
Yeah, I have no hope for my fantasy team. Even with Patterson, I lost last week.
Yeah. I didn't talk about when I was talking about Ohio State. I will be at tomorrow's game. That's maybe why I got mixed up about going to the Rutgers game that was in New Jersey.
Who do they play tomorrow?
Maryland, so they should dominate them. There's 2 of his brothers, so a lot of people are thinking that's going to give him a hard time, but think so. Ohio State
No.
has never lost to Maryland, so it seems like an odd time to lose to them.
Yeah.
And then
be fun close.
we didn't talk about, but me and you played some football together.
We did, dude. It was so fun.
It was.
I think I threw like 15 touchdowns, 2 picks, and I'm not fucking taking credit for one of these picks. They got tipped off my receiver's hands in the end zone. Easiest touchdown of my life. I threw 3 picks. I will take credit for 2 of them.
I think I caught like 6, but I did drop like 2 as far as touchdowns.
You dropped one of mine, and you were just literally sitting in the end zone waiting for it.
Caught a fair catch and everything.
Yeah. So that went poorly. But I had a lot of fun. I love throwing the football. I love playing quarterback. I love playing football, so I'm excited to do it again. Let me tell you about how I felt the next couple of days. As a newly 30-year-old.
Mm-hmm. Welcome to the club.
Thanks. So I already have some injuries, and I'm overweight. So like I'm not really. I'm quarterback for a reason. I think I'm pretty good at it, but also I just can't really run. So, luckily I'm good at it, right? So if I was bad, I wouldn't play. So I decided to play some receiver because people were tired. I caught 1 pass. Well, I caught a few, but I had one where I turned up field and I really went for it, and I pulled a groin. I've never done that before, but it hurts your nut. So I pulled it on the left side. So my left nut and then my upper thigh right next to my junk. All of that hurt so fucking bad. And I had to work that day too. So the next day, for two days, I was literally laying on my couch because I just couldn't move. My knees were hurting, my shoulder. So they overinflated my ball too, and so like we were throwing this thing for 2 hours straight.
I don't like that you just said that after you talking about your nut hurt,
Sorry.
and then you said I overplayed my ball.
My football. And I was throwing this thing for 2 fucking straight hours, and my arm was so tired and sore. My elbow hurt. Dude, it was the first time I was like, I think I'm too old to play football for that long, at least without stretching or something. You know what I mean?
It makes you feel better. Most people at work just kept coming to me either the next day or a couple of days later, and they were all feeling it. So,
dude, I don't know. That day was rough. I didn't feel it that bad the first time we played,
which is odd because it was cooler. Usually, it happens in warmer temperature because it messes with your muscles more.
So I'm excited to play again, though. I love throwing the football, man. My 3. Let's talk about my 3 picks, because that's what I've been reflecting on. One of them, that Eric kid, made the greatest fucking catch I've ever seen in my life. This dude was nowhere near me, and I threw it. He was like in the middle. We played on a real field. He was like in the middle of the fucking field, and I threw it to the left, fucking out of bounds, and he caught it. He picked it off.
You were playing on Ohio State's practice field?
Yeah, the dude traveled like 20 yards, and I threw it like 30. He traveled 20 far. It's crazy. And the first one I threw, I'm pretty sure that guy plays football. So. Yeah. He was in man coverage, dropped his man to go into zone to pick mine off. With us, I can just throw balls over your guys' heads. We do it all the time. Yeah. All of us can do it, right? This one, I was like, I'm just going to throw this over the head to this guy. This guy dropped out. It went to like a fucking cloud flat or something and picked them up. It was crazy. So it was
mostly people from my work and a few of our friends, but then we had a couple random people join in. And one of them definitely was like a
he's played
dropout college player.
He's
or something.
Played at a level that is considerate. Like he is a real football player. And he also dropped one of my touchdowns. So fuck him. And his boy dropped one of mine that was right in his hands. I could have had a lot of touchdowns. Yeah, that one pissed me off because that was like my best throw of the day. It was over a defender right into his hands. A lot of my balls got dropped. So I'm excited to play quarterback again. And then my physical ball also felt like it got dropped into a hell.
That's what I thought of when you said a lot of my balls got dropped. I started thinking about your nuts.
I'm going to deflate my ball a little bit so we can my ball is already deflated.
We're talking about Tom Brady a lot this episode.
Yeah, so that's it. I love football. It was so fun. I'm going to stretch for the next game, though.
And next game, theoretically, should be even better weather. So
dude, we should get some of those boys for a flag league.
Oh, I'd love that, and I think they'd be down for that as long as you know how people are with money. As long as it's not too much, I would. But I'm saying how other people can be.
I'll look into it. I know of one league. It's indoor, though.
It'd be fun to all be able to play on the same team because they don't have to like root against each other or anything.
Yes.
No, we'll have to look into it. Well, you do.
I know of 2 leagues that I can look at.
Okay. That'd be fucking awesome. Speaking of looking at, let's get into some soccer.
Go ahead.
Okay, sounds good. Not much to talk about. The Crew have only played one game since we talked last on here, and they lost it 3-0. So not a good game, believe it or not.
Yep.
The U.S. did win 2-0 over Jamaica, though, in the World Cup qualifier game.
Jamaica. I have a soft spot in my heart only for Jamaica in anything, only because of Cool Runnings.
I hate you.
You know, Cool Runnings is like in my top 10 favorite movies of all time.
I didn't.
It's like a real thing.
That reminds me, we still need to do a ranking of like sports movies and stuff. We got some
Cool
ideas.
Runnings would be in there for me.
Spoilers.
I have a weird top 10.
And speaking of soccer,
yep,
I played my first soccer game this week. I joined a soccer league, kind of like you're talking about flag football. I joined not midway through the season, but they had already started their season. It's one of my friends from work, and then a bunch of random people he doesn't know, so he's already on a misfit team. And I joined. I've never actually played real soccer in my life, just kind of pick up games here and there. So it was another not good game for our team. I think we're 0-4 now because I think they played 3 and lost.
Yeah.
And it was 10-2, I believe.
But
you can.
But of those two,
one of them was me, and it actually was. It was a fucking terrible goal. It was one of the ones where somebody shot it. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. To be fair, also to me, if you watch MLS or World Cup or whatever, you see bad goals. That's part of it. Not all goals are amazing, but it was not impressive. Somebody kicked a good shot, and then it bounced off the goalie, and I just tapped it in. So, and then my friend went crazy because he was so happy, which I appreciated. But then I was like, man, this team's gonna fucking kill us for celebrating this goal after they just dominated us this whole game.
Do they have a goalie, a good goalie, your team?
They said this was my first game. Like I said, he was lighting in a lot. But my friend told me that he played soccer in school, so I trust him more. He said that yeah, he's really good. So he said a lot of goals were happening that night were definitely on the defense, like breakdowns, that no goalie was going to stop him.
Gotcha.
Yeah, which he's talking about maybe starting his own team next year, so he can maybe be the goalie.
I'm down for that.
Yeah, because he's going to need more people.
Gotta figure out a way to not be fat anymore.
That's actually all I had for soccer, so you want to get into hockey?
Let's do it. Hockey. Preseason's happening.
That's right.
The Kraken are, I don't know, I think in the plus category in wins. How many games have they played? 2?
They should play more than that. The Blue Jackets played 7, I think, so far.
Cool. Let me just tell you how they're doing. They
Blue
won.
Jackets are still top in their division, which won't matter a whole lot, but it's still cool to see.
All right, they won their first one, got smoked in their second one. All right, so they beat the Canucks. They got smoked by the Oilers. They beat the Flames. They beat the Oilers. They got smoked by the Flames. Okay, I'm sensing a
smoked by the Flames. I get it.
Nice. And then we destroyed the Canucks again. So is October 12th? That's real hockey, right?
Let's do that hockey.
Or is October 14th the first?
Probably 14th, because I think that's when the Blue Jays play there first.
I think it is when you guys play first. I thought the Golden Knights were our first game.
If you search regulars, like...
I don't know. Doesn't matter. We play the Golden Knights next.
The Blue Jays first is the 14th against the Coyotes.
And then we play the Predators, then we play the Blue Jackets.
I wish I was here to go with you.
I probably won't.
No?
Yeah, probably not. Unless Sam really wants to go, but I doubt it.
Yeah. Did I tell you about StubHub?
StubHub. Use code Pigskin for 15%. We don't know.
That's a place you should look if you're going to get them. I think the tickets are going to skyrocket, but every Blue Jackets Blue Jackets regular season game, you could get tickets as cheap as like $15.
Really?
Yep. Because I think you're worried about doing stuff, and I think they also think the Blue Jackets are going to be terrible, and I think the Blue Jackets are going to surprise people. And I think once season, even if I'm wrong about that, I think once things start happening, people just want to start doing stuff again. Just like the Buckeye games get more and more busy. So
I want to go. Work is in the worst state it's ever been in. Dude, my job, no one works there anymore. All the drivers have quit. Hope Nick listens to this, because we kind of need him to come back. All the drivers quit. We have no managers. One of them has COVID now. One of them's on vacation. We have 15-year-olds that don't come to work, or they're high and they get fired. So literally, We've been we're a pizza shop. We were supposed to be open until like 1. We've been closing. We closed at 6:30 yesterday. Tonight we closed at 10. I was delivering food late till like 11, and I started at like 9.
Yeah.
With 1 run, so I had like 12 orders on my car. I was just fucking driving it around. Because I'm the only fucking driver. Tomorrow it's me and 1 guy because everyone else quit. Oh, Derek, money. No, if they get overwhelmed, they just shut the store down, so I lose money. So it started to become not as profitable because they can't keep it open.
Makes sense.
So if I take a Saturday off, as I am one of 2 drivers now, it would be a real issue for that hockey game. So that's kind of a thing. But yeah, Donato's is in shambles. That store is awful. Truly terrible.
Now they're going to listen to this and fire you.
Cool.
The only other hockey news I have is stuff is starting to come out about the Olympics. Well, it's actually the first thing I've seen, but I'm sure there's been more.
Did the Olympics just happen?
The Summer Olympics did. This is the Winter Olympics in 2022. And NHL players will be in it for the first time since 2014. So I am super fucking jacked. And Oliver Bjorkstrand got a... You're giving me a look. He's
Can you
gonna
say
be
it
on
one more time for me?
Oliver, you fucking ass. Oliver Bjorkstrand.
Okay.
So that was the best one yet because I didn't even say it well. So thank you for helping me.
You're welcome.
But he is going to be on Team Denmark. So a Blue Jacket player that will be, I mean, there'll be probably many, but this first one I've seen. They'll be on a Olympic team. Unfortunately, not USA. That's the weird thing about watching the Olympics is a lot of your players don't actually play for the U.S., so you're rooting against all these players you know. Kind of like when the U.S. had their best chance at the gold recently, and Rick Nash scored the game-winning goal for Canada to knock him out.
Was that the year that Oshie was really good?
Yeah, and Rick Nash fucked us over. And then I think the 2014 is when Bob screwed the U.S. over and shut him out.
Bob.
So 2 times in a row, the last 2 times the NHL has been in it.
This is my display piece, by the way. That's why I keep finger fucking it.
Oh. That's all. Well, actually, I have one more sadder thing, but sounds like there's not a good ending. That'd be a weird way to put it. But Nashville Predators coach, former Blue Jackets coach, Todd Richard, had a heart attack a week ago. But they said he's doing better now, and he thinks he'll be back for opening night. So, obviously I hate the Predators, but don't want to see somebody have a heart attack. And he seemed like a really good guy that kind of got shafted with the Blue Jackets. So, yeah. So that seems like a sad thing, but potentially good. Yeah, Brenton Sod. And I have one NBA news here, one basketball news.
Basketball starting.
That's right.
Is that your news?
No, it's somehow less important than that.
I saw the tagline, so I'm not too excited.
I just can't believe this is real. LeBron James has 100 million followers on Instagram, which is more than the NFL, MLB, and NHL and NBA counts combined. So the leagues he's part of and 3 the other top leagues. He has more followers than all of them combined, which I know, to be fair, I know that like corporate accounts of the NFL and NHL and all those are just going to share the same things you can find anywhere. That's what makes social media interesting, is that you can find things that you don't get. Like you're going to see stuff from LeBron on there that you can't find just Googling or something because it's his personal account. But that's still bonkers that one player has more than all the top leagues, especially when one of them is the league that he's in. So, just kind of crazy. Did you have anything basketball you want to talk about?
Nope. It's starting. That's all I got for it.
Go Cavs. I think this is a year.
It's not.
But they still
this
suck
does
ass.
feel like the year that I don't know who the clear favorite is. I think that's like a big thing going around the league right now. Everyone's like, it's kind of up in the air. I'm sure there's teams that are going to be better, but no one's like, well, like last year, obviously the Lakers are going to, you know what I mean? Or obviously.
Isn't that the same this year? Didn't Westbrook go there? And is it?
He did, but for some reason, I think there's a lot of teams like that, like the Nets, the Lakers, the Warriors, I think did it again. There's a lot of teams, or the Bucks, the Heat. A lot of teams are just looking really fucking stacked. So everyone's like, I don't know.
I gotcha. All right, well, go get to this pizza then.
Sure.
You go first this time. I went first last time.
There are other sports. No.
Lacrosse. We're gonna get to that another day.
I hope so.
Fuck off.
This pizza is one of the most bland things I've ever had in my life.
Really?
Yeah. Maybe I have COVID. I can't taste anything. I can't taste anything.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I know my taste buds are very particular, but that might be concerning. Because, well, I'll wait.
There's not much sauce,
Mm-hmm.
which is great for you.
Mm-hmm.
The cheese tastes like frozen pizza cheese. The crust is kind of airy. It's kind of nice, but I don't think it has much taste. It's fine.
Well, here, you don't have to give your review. I'll add something here. I don't think it's like overwhelming with flavor, but the reason I'm a little concerned about you is because I'm going to say there's something in there. I don't know if it's a seasoning or something. It's really messing with me. That's kind of why I stopped eating it.
There's definitely a seasoning in there. I can't taste it.
Yeah.
Like that, there is taste. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like I know that there is taste. It is just not tasteful. And it's not even bad. Like I ate 3 pieces of it, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And like I would eat it again. It just tastes like a frozen cheese pizza. It's nothing special. I don't know. 1.9.
Okay. All right.
2.1.
That's what you're deciding on?
Yeah. It's okay.
Okay.
It's not even that okay.
So,
it's just fucking bland. I don't know.
So, when we were looking at this pizza, I already talked a little bit at the beginning. We were talking about how it's going to be really crispy, and it is like a mixture. It's weird because it's crispy, but
it's weirdly airy too. I wish you could see this.
Which is still better than you can say about most frozen pizzas, but it's very confusing to eat. I think it's actually one of the better frozen pizzas I've had.
Really?
I don't like frozen pizzas. I usually don't even really make them because I know they're cheaper and convenient, but I'd rather spend
a
little more, or even double the price or something, 10 times better. But this is definitely one of the better ones I had, which sucks because I fucking hate this guy. I know you said he has nothing to do with it, but I'm sure he's getting a lot of money from it.
Oh, yeah.
And he probably, if we're being fair, I'm sure he wasn't a chef or like any person made ingredients, but I bet he taste tested stuff and was like, this is why I settled on.
He's probably got a pretty good idea of good pizza.
Yeah.
He likes that New York place you like.
Well, he likes John's on Bleecker Street. Don't make that mistake. I like Bleecker Street pizza.
Yeah, he likes that one too. He did both.
I couldn't find it. You have to show me. But also, as I say I make this argument all the time when people are like, oh, I'm not going to eat Chick-fil-A because of their views or whatever. I'm like, okay, when you go to Burger King, or you pay attention to where all their money goes. So I had to play it for me too. You know, I fucking hate this guy. I'm not going to avoid this pizza if I want it again, especially when I like it more than most frozen pizzas because of him. Because if I buy Jack's or whatever other Tombstone, their money is probably going to guys that probably wouldn't be too fond of either if I really looked into it. I'm not going to let that stop me. But I think I will say, in honor of him, a solid 4.0. And I think for frozen, we're not doing different, I'm just saying, I would say maybe even a 6. I think it's like one of the best frozen pizza I've had, but we're not going to rate them different. So for straight up pizza, I think it's okay. 4.
Yeah, I'd rather have any pizza place, I think.
Yeah, most. Definitely not any for me, but most.
Well, yep, 99%.
But this is the first time. This is a big moment. This is the first time I remembered our rating scale. Because at the beginning, I was like, I'm going to give it a 6. And then I was like, because 6 out of 10, that's not bad. And I was like, oh, shit, no, stop myself. So
we even cut it into 8 pieces.
That's right. Maybe that's what, I wasn't even thinking that, but maybe it just ingrained in my mind.
That's a wrap.
Sure is.
Good talk, friend.
Pop,
quack,
pop,
quack, pop, quack, pop, quack,
Go Broncos.
Hawks. Russell Wilson's finger.